Mitalee Agrawal, Public Relations Officer at IIT Hyderabad, and we thanks to all of you to adore our efforts of IITH Hum. And we are back with our third episode in the season of IITH Alumni Diary to introduce you to our adorable and amazing alumni. And without taking much time, today we have a very amazing personality with us, Mr. Ashwin Nandapurkar. Mr. Ashwin has done his BTech from IIT Hyderabad in year 2015, and he has been known to build startup from zero to the extent of $1.2 million per month. Currently, Ashwin is working as a blockchain officer for a nuclear fusion startup, X-Fusion. So without telling much about, let's hear from Ashwin what it is and how it is. Over to you, Ashwin. So tell us something about yourself.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here. And I've seen the first couple of episodes, they're really good. So thank you so much for having me here. And my journey, I'll give a quick brief. I started my journey at IITH, so it has played a huge role in where I am today. I started my first company when I was in my second year. It was back in 2012. I started my first company. Every year, basically second year, third year, fourth year, I did one startup myself. None of them succeeded, but it gave me a lot of confidence to go forward and help others build their startups. So after BTech, I joined Flipkart. I had a education loan, had to pay that off. So worked with Flipkart for a year to pay off the loan, and then moved back into startups. Throughout my career, I've worked in early stage companies. I've always joined like fifth, sixth, seventh kind of an employee. I've always been a founding employee at multiple different startups. Over the years, worked in multiple industries that I was interested in: e-commerce, home services like Urban Clap, then marketing, education, actual teaching. I've taught physics, then also worked in training, neurolinguistic programming, healthcare. My last role was in a virtual events tech company. That's where I scaled the company from less than $1,000. When I joined, we didn't have any revenue. It was a zero, basically zero revenue company. Scaled it up to $1.2 million per month in terms of sales. I was leading the sales team, scaled the team from 6 employees to 150 plus employees. And I moved on from that last year, August. Since then, I've been spending my full time into the blockchain space. I've been like first 7, 8 months, I learned about the space, built a lot of different things for other people so that I can learn. And now I've been consulting with multiple blockchain company, multiple tech companies over the last 6, 8 months. And I've joined a nuclear fusion company as their chief blockchain officer recently. And I'm going to be building that company or that product forward for our company now. Again, another early stage, early founding employee kind of a role for me.
No, yet again, a kind of honor clap for you being such a risk taker. Usually, people wants to go to an institute which is well established. Just as I was sharing you behind the screen, that even once upon a time in my life when I have to go for my BTech, instead of going for a GEC, my father told me to go for an institute. Maybe this being a private institute may and being having a prospect will make you a better person, because if good people like you doesn't go to that organization, how it will be built up? So it is the people who build the organization, not the organization who build the people. And you are a really amazing, I think, example of this. Somehow I don't know how come people are not aware of this. We can say you the startup man of of India, who is really trying hard to shape up the startups and all. So, if I'm not wrong, you are a mechanical engineer, mechanical and aerospace engineering you are done. So, how come
Yep.
your experience looks like into the software domain or the marketing? So, what made you to first join IIT Hyderabad, especially the mechanical engineering, and then move towards all this variety of field?
So, so I was like, again, when I joined, like I was the opening rank. I was not technically the opening rank. I was the second opening rank of IIT Hyderabad Mechanical Engineering. Me and the guy who opened, we had the same exact marks. So that was at that rank. I was either going to get like a very instrumentation kind of a branch at IIT Bombay, or a good branch that I would like at an IIT Hyderabad or IIT Guwahati. So those were the options I had. I didn't want to adjust on what I was going to study. I thought it would be okay to adjust on a college. I know IIT Hyderabad, the new and upcoming college, would be better if I'm getting a good branch. That was the choice. Then, when it was decided that I would go for mechanical because I was very interested in physics back then, and I really wanted, I expected uh, mechanical engineering to be a continuation of physics that we learned in 11th, 12th. So, from that perspective, decided mechanical. The choice was IIT Guwahati or IIT IIT Hyderabad, because I had, at my rank, I was getting both. Choice after that was pretty simply made based on location. Hyderabad was much more connected to where I come from. In Maharashtra, there's a direct overnight train. That's where I chose Hyderabad. And then how I ended up with business or startups is, eventually first year BTech was fine. It is common stuff with everyone for all the branches. As we got into the depth of mechanical engineering, I realized I didn't like it. It wasn't what I was hoping it would be, and I just didn't see a point of actually just doing it. And like, basically, again, I'm a person who likes to do stuff that I like, and it just didn't make sense. It felt like it wasn't my cup of tea. So I started exploring a lot of different things, all the events I could, like, we have clubs, so I explored a lot of different clubs. I went out of IITH for multiple events, and as at one such event at IIIT Hyderabad, it was a startup hackathon event. And that's where, for the first time, I came to know of the concept of startups, of business. And that's when I started exploring it. And eventually, that was like the starting point of the career that I have today.
So quite interesting, actually, journey. That you are literally a very good example for our people to know. Not only in Hyderabad, across the people are talking about the IIT is a pressure cooker and all those things, and the people are into something which they don't like. Though IIT Hyderabad has a quite a flexible academics, as you can confirm, you can take a lot variety of courses thanks to fractal academics. This thing will encourage literally a people that you, even if you have to stick to a branch and all that, you still can explore. Okay, and as a life doesn't always throw with you all your favorites, so you
Yep.
can still uh, cope up with what you have, and still you have to, if you want something to do wonderful, you have to pull little extra energy from you and put it into your favorite. And for doing your favorite, you don't need any extra energy. So though you said you didn't like mechanical engineering, but by any chance you liked any subject from them, or thanks to factual academics, any other subject which you get to study during engineering you enjoyed the most?
So actually, fractal came up after my time. When I was in my final year, the first year students that came in, they had fractals. I never had fractals. The things which I personally liked were again. So we have this concept of auditing. I don't know if we still have it, but during my time we did. So as a person, you could audit courses. So what happened was, I was not eligible to take a minor because of my CGPA. I was focused on building startups, so my grades were not great, but I could audit courses. So even though I could not officially take a minor in entrepreneurship, I literally did the whole course just on audit basis, never got those credits, but it didn't matter to me because I could learn what I needed to learn to build a startup. And that was the best learning experience in terms of the courses I took, because I was actually understanding how people are building stuff out there, what are the concepts that are needed as an entrepreneur, as a startup founder, as a startup leader, all the things you need. I was learning them from people who are doing it, and I am actually doing courses around that. I think the founder of HCL, Ajay Chaudhary sir, was there. He was one of our teachers. So that was the highlight course of my time at IITH. It has nothing to do with my degree as such, but still that is the course where I learned the most in terms of my career, I would say.
You're reminding of a couple of movies. I'm like a movie freak. That is my hobby, I can say. So I like that people that even Three Idiot, they say that you जो भी class पसंद है उसमें चले जाओ. So that is something really your commitment to the something matter, not exactly the course. Even you can study, and that's what IIT allow you to have a freedom if you want to explore certain other subjects that is always available with you. So other than all this, I understand the entrepreneurship, hashtag entrepreneurship is a part of your life. But other than that, anything else extracurricular activity you have enjoyed at IIT Hyderabad?
I think IIT, so this is not just IITH. I think the system in itself, the IIT system, I very like it a lot. Again, my younger brother also passed out from the same system. That's why I have like multiple perspectives into it. But the system in itself, I think what I like the most is the system is very flexible. And again, it's up to the student to take benefit out of it or be crushed by it. Because sometimes when there are a lot of options, people can get overwhelmed. But the flip side is it gives you so much flexibility that you can explore so many different things at such a young age. Like 17, 18-year-old students probably have not explored organizing like a multi-lakh event like a fest, wherein bringing that money and managing that money at the young age of 18 or 20, you haven't had that kind of experience. You don't have experience of talking to actual corporate leaders who are making decisions to spend crores of rupees. So that kind of experience brings in a very, basically that is one part of extracurriculars I liked and I still like a lot in the system. Secondly, the clubs, the club culture I love a lot because it's basically for people who want to take benefit of it or advantage of it. They can build up whatever they need. So that's the flexibility that comes from IIT system, and especially from IIT Hyderabad for when I was there, that we didn't have anything. So again, same thing, it can be overwhelming or you can take it as a challenge and build something up. So we didn't have anything which was a clean slate for people like me and a few other friends, where we started a lot of stuff. I started a swimming team for IITH. I was the first captain of the swimming team at IITH. We represented IITH for the first time in IIT Guwahati in inter IIT swimming. Similarly, we were like entrepreneurship club became big after that. We organized the entrepreneurship festival. So things like that were basically an opportunity to start a lot of different new things for a young IIT. That was, I think, what I would take away from the whole system and especially at IITH as well.
So it means really that's the actually onus on the pioneering batch to do start something, because if they will also feel like someone else will come and build, then who will build and who will then build upon it. So no, thanks to all the alumni like you who has really taken an effort to build the literally the amazing culture and the environment about all this extracurricular activity. And I'm sure you might be aware of that we are going to come up with a very large scale cultural and sport complex soon in IIT Hyderabad.
Yep.
So I'm sure I got this point that you are focused towards entrepreneurship and you got training on how to be a better entrepreneur or part of the system and all. So what is another training you feel so that other than that you have got from IIT Hyderabad?
I think, see, being an entrepreneur, you can't train for it. That's my thought process. That's my experience, and most people I've spoken to, that how much ever you get trained for it, it doesn't work. You have to go out there and build it, and you have to fail. Without failing multiple times, it's very difficult to succeed big time. You Again, there are going to be examples like Ritesh Agrawal who build it out of scratch very young, but those are exceptions, not the rules. And I think with IIT Hyderabad, it gave me that freedom. That's all I would say. That it gave me that freedom to fail three times in a startup. When I was young, I could start three times over and over. Again, faculty was, I wouldn't say they were encouraging, but they didn't hold me back. And again, their job, or as a faculty, they're supposed to keep our students accountable for our courses. So at least faculty was supportive that I was doing something else. So they didn't hold me back or fail me in courses, and I didn't have to worry too much about the academics. They at least like that was a very positive thing for me from a faculty and ITH perspective, that it gave me the freedom to train myself by building startups and failing at them multiple times.
No, I think so. It is a people like you who actually, I don't know if you are aware of IIT Hyderabad now became even more flexible towards the entrepreneurship. That we even allow the people to go for even a semester break also, so that they can explore their dream. I don't know if you might be aware of the Build project, which is even supported by the alumni of IIT Hyderabad, which stands for Bold Unique Idea Leading to Development. It started by our current director, Professor Murthy, where the student, even if they are in a first year, first month, or first day at IIT Hyderabad, they have a concept. They can propose it happen. The call happen by month, yearly, twice a year, where they can pitch in their idea and get a funding support up to the 1 lakh. And even as I told you, the little flexibility in taking a semester break and also maybe a kind of a credit also for it. So that is the one thing amazing, and I think so this is all maybe because of you people who has put a right seed in your days, that IIT Hyderabad understood the importance of entrepreneurship so early. We are just running in our 15th year. So what is the best moment you recall from your life at IIT Hyderabad?
I think I think getting okay, the best I think there are too many, to be honest.
But
That's
something
why
which come first there.
I think the time I spent with my friends. Like I've made friends for life at IITH, and that was the first thing that came, like the birthday celebrations that we had, or the time we spent sitting in rooms just chatting throughout nights, or just playing games throughout nights. Those were the times. Then the second thing that came to my mind was the moment I mentioned earlier at IIIT Hyderabad, where I realized what startups are and how interesting and exciting that concept is. And then from there, another validation was when I won first competition, which was held at BITS Goa, where I was representing like one of the ideas I had. And so those are like the two, three things that come to my mind immediately when I think about best moments at IITH.
So I think another best moment is you're going to get one special award for contributing to the institute building in this year Alumni Award 2022. So what is your take on this?
See, I think this is a take which I've mentioned to a couple of my mentees as well, and this is it's a bit different for me from what most people think. I think this is just day zero. This is something which I'm building in myself and in my mentees. That uh, this is just the starting of my journey. I'm just 29 right now. I'm getting this award. I think it's it's a basically I'm very thankful for the institute to consider me for this and then eventually give it to me. But I think this is a very small drop in the ocean that I need to do going forward. The way I see it, I my life goal is to impact 1 billion people at least throughout this century. And this award is just a check mark that, okay, I'm going in the right direction. I have started impacting people, but it's just the first step of probably a 50,000 step journey. And this is just a pat on the back saying that, okay, go forward and keep doing it. But this is in no way saying that, okay, I've done a good job and now I can sit and relax. This is just a step, day zero or step one of a very long journey. And that's the way I see it for myself. And that's what I've told everyone around me, that that's how I see it. And let's see where it goes. I don't know where it will go, but that's the way I look at it.
Something I was amazing. I was just checking my pointer where I have to cross check the thing with you. But I have only asked you four or five and you have covered almost most of them. So that is something amazing that talks about your experience. And sometimes it comes, people say usually with the age, but sometimes if you put a more, but and as I said, the distance, speed is equal to distance by time. And if you want to cover more distance, then you have to increase the speed. And as you said that obviously you have taken a speed of working on three startup, one not done, two not done, three not done. And one thing amazing that you kept your pace. You have not got this encouraged that okay, something is not working, which is really going to create a very nice example in front of our generation, not in IIT but across, because this is going to air on YouTube. Many people will get inspired that okay, life is beyond success. So success is what we are living.
I
Life
think
is beyond.
success is a subjective term in my opinion. You define what success is. Like for some people at the age of 29 to make like 1 CR, that's success for some people. And for someone like me, that doesn't matter because it comes with the work I've done. And success for me is like by the time I'm dead, or by the time, like hopefully I'm alive, but like impacting those billion people is what success would define for me. So I think success is a very subjective term, which if someone has to take one thing away from this discussion, I think that is what they should, that success is what you define it to be. You have to define it for yourself, and then it makes sense. Or else the societal definitions of money, fame, accolades and all of that, that doesn't make sense.
Just for the interest of our viewer, I just want to share that Ashwin is not having any wallpaper. It is actually he's sitting on an amazing place in Goa, and very kind of him to actually be available so that we, and that is what our refers to the IITH hub, that to bring in that there is a lot of positivity in the life, there's a lot of learning in ourself itself, that instead of getting disheartened by something not happening in the life, we can see what is the beauty available and how other has overcome it, learned from it. And as someone said that the intelligence is learning from the other people's mistake.
Yep.
So as I see, Ashwin, you are a quite of helpful nature, and that's what we are adoring you also on this December 18 on the Alumni Day. I hope you will be present there. So if someone really wants to contact you after this, so where they can reach out to you?
I think LinkedIn is the best place to reach out to me because that's where I'm most available. I can share my email or my WhatsApp, but those places I won't be as responsive because of the amount of spam I get. LinkedIn is where I can very easily figure out a spam because not too many people, at least the spammers and scammers, have not reached there yet. So that's where I would suggest if you really want to talk to me, you can just send me a message, send me a connection request, and we can set up a talk. That's the easiest way.
So Ashwin, a lot of wonderful moments you have shared with us. Anything special you recall? Because I feel based on what we discussed, something special you have missed out.
Yeah, actually, I met my wife at IITH. So I was working on a startup, and she was a student at IITH, and she was helping us out. So that is one of the best things that has happened because without her, I would not have been anywhere close to where I am today. She's the support system in my life, and she's basically the rock which holds me together when I'm at my lowest. So I think meeting her was one of the highlights, most important highlights of my IITH life.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ashwin, to share that. That okay, IT Hyderabad also build relation for the people rather than
Yep.
you building special relation with IT Hyderabad. This is a really amazing interaction with you, Ashwin, and thanks a lot for considering it. And one final line, if you want to say, what you will say.
I think, yeah, I think, okay, that's that's so, okay. I think this is my life motto that I would leave people with, which is this too shall pass. I've built this over a long time, over like last 7, 8 years. I've built this life motto. You should always remember whatever situation you're in, it will pass. It could be a positive one or a negative one. It is going to pass. So if it is a negative one, just remember it will pass and go through it, steer through it, stay strong. If it is a positive one, stay happy, enjoy the moment, and also remember this will pass and just keep going on in life.
It is really amazing message at the end you have given other than the entrepreneurship actually which need this particular motto behind, because entrepreneurship
Yep.
is a quite a tough journey. You have to take a lot of risk in the life, and it was a wonderful interaction with you, Ashwin, and all the best to you for all the efforts you are doing not only on building IITH but really amazing culture. India is also going very broad way through the startup India concept, and many people like you are going to lead this initiative by taking the risk and be part of the startup. Thanks a lot for being with us, and we look forward to have many more contribution from you towards the institute and towards the nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Have a good day.